Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our 65th episode of Conscious Gatherers. I'm here with Royce, and we've got some great messages to share with you tonight. So welcome and
Hello.
hello. All right. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, today is April the 5th, 2022. So we're well into our third year of our podcast. So let us begin. We've been discussing things about what's going on in the world, obviously, today and what all this means. And it is, really quite a spectacle of what's going on, if I may use that word, but I think it is spectacle, because now we're seeing things with our eyes. And then hearing with our ears and thinking, okay, here's the stuff that's been going on. And all is being revealed, and we've used those words, the great reveal, and it definitely is happening. And so we're going to share more on that in just a moment. And but first of all, I'm going to start out this episode about the word ascension. We've been talking about that word for quite a long time. Other people use that word. What does it really mean? And so we thought this would be a good way to start out tonight's episode. So to me, the ascension is the ability of the human to walk this planet enlightened. That's it. However, when we're more enlightened, we realize how powerful we really and truly are.
Yeah, and when we're enlightened, our vibration, the vibration of our entire being, raises.
Yes. And as each of us raise our vibrations, and so does the earth. And it's happening. It's happening, even with everything that's going on. And so the more we get into some of the dark stuff, we can know some of it's going on. But do understand, the more that you get involved in some of that dark stuff and become attached to what is going on, that does bring down the vibration of yourself as well as the planet. And so if you can detach from it and love the people that are involved or that are victims, if you want to use that term, or are they victims? And even the ones that may be the not so nice people, put it that way. And they're doing a job for us to wake up to what's going on. So, okay, do you have any more to add to that?
No, it's just everything works together.
It does.
Everything is tailor-made for each one of us to learn from.
Yeah, and each of us are experiencing, another aspect of self, and every Earth experience we have, and maybe on other planets too. We've been the not so nice person, and then we've been the most loving person. And that is to understand what it means to experience and what we understand to be in this physical body. So there goes. All right. Well, now is the time to begin listening intently to our inner being. This grand plan, and I called it, we've talked about the great experiment, and that's experiencing duality, basically. And so now we're on to the grand plan. And what that is bringing more light into our physicality, what we just talked about, and is something that's been not been made manifest in creation. This is what I was told a while ago, and it's now being made manifest. So it has been tried, and it did not work. This is in past times, because at that time, the body could not hold this light. Now our inner workings are being adjusted, and our DNA structures are enhanced for better reception. Therefore, creation is adjusting itself for our enhancement and enhancement of the totality of all that is. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it is big.
Yeah. We talked about our DNA being, our third strand coming more online, and then the fourth one comes on rather quickly. And this is for those of us who are more in adult age or older adult age. All right, and the younger people. Yes, I can say that. All right, excuse me. Okay. However, right now, what we are now witnessing is our grand plan coming into focus. right? So this journey to Earth is a playground for us to recognize our greatness. So it's another way of saying what what we just talked about. There are many nations present on the Earth at this moment. Nations and many type of beings, from many different planets, galaxies, whatever it may be. We're all here together. There, I can call it intelligence from other planetary systems too. So it all makes up our current human. Let's understand why we're so darned important. So this is the moment when we really begin to realize that we are the composite of the many offshoots of each one of us. What does that mean? This grand adventure is bringing together factions of civilizations and some of them who felt that they are or were superior to other races. However, there's no separation, only offshoots. So, are they superior? Nah.
Nope.
Nope. And it's for us to understand just really how, I use that word superior regarding ourselves. We're all superior.
Yeah, life is life.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Royce, you really got some wonderful information today, and I would love for you to share that.
Okie dokie. We were meditating earlier, and this is what came through. Coming of age, blossoming, new age. These are all terms given to the development of life upon the earth, the maturing of Earth's species. These terms do not relate to Gaia, the consciousness of the earth. Gaia is quite ancient, quite mature, yet expanding in depth of being. Life upon the earth is at a very pivotal point, a turning point of evolution. As this point is crossed, the earth's consciousness and the earth's inhabitants will be more closely aligned. It is then that the crystalline age of understanding will begin. And oh, what a blessing that age will be for the entirety of this galaxy and all surrounding galaxies. It has been in times past that this solar system has been fed by the sun, guided by the sun, nurtured by the sun. The time is coming for the earth to reciprocate, sharing the light of wisdom and understanding to the rest of the solar system, which in turn shares the blessing of these gifts with the galaxy of the Milky Way, which in turn shares it with other galaxies. It is as the words on the mast bell of the ship, the Albatross, where we go one, we go all. When we rise together, we flourish and achieve that which is beyond our current dreaming. Rise, fellow inhabitants of the earth. Rise and flourish. We are, as always, the builders of light. Let your house be of light as well.
That was beautiful.
I thought it was quite inspiring when they spoke about let your house be of light as well in teachings of ancient wisdom, ageless wisdom actually. They speak of building the house of light actually, and that would be our vessel, our raised vessel, raising up this flesh and bone to something more appropriate for the time.
Wow. Well, you had mentioned the ship Albatross.
Uh-huh.
And after you received this message, didn't you say that is the name of the ship that's in that movie?
Yeah, the name of the movie is White Squall. Quite a powerful movie. But on the mast bell were those words, where we go one, we go all. And it's, I think it's quite apropos for today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole earth, we're all moving.
Yes. We can't help it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this up, and I want you to jump in on this. And that is the word bifurcation, and we even talked about that in other episodes. And those are the ones that are awakened. Those are ones that are not awakened. If you use those terms, again, that's not superior, better than or less than. It's just some people chose to not awaken to their true identity as powerful beings. So they see themselves a little bit differently, and other ones are starting to realize what that really means. So, but where we go one, we go all. So, I mean, do you want to jump in on this, please?
Well, from what I understand, there will be no the ones left behind. It doesn't go like that. We came here as more than what we appear to be right now. It's kind of like looking at it like de-evolution to come onto the planet and then evolve back.
Yeah.
So we're much more than those playing the part of something beautiful and those playing the part of something ugly. Those are just things to learn from. And so when all is said and done, there won't be any left behind, because we are one beautiful being. We are something that you can't separate.
We just, I forget how you just said that, but one of the things that I was hearing today was the word timelessness, and that was forward, backwards. There's no difference.
Yeah.
So, we even discussed that we've been in the future, and then I think I said we're back. So, I mean, people are starting to see that. And
one eternal moment instead of moments in time.
Yeah. It was really hard for us to comprehend that.
Yeah, because we're used to a linear existence instead of a livingness of wholeness.
Yeah. Just hold on to that thought. I think we'll finally get it someday. I mean, and some of you may get it right now. I mean, yes, I know it, but do I really know it? And, that is, again, such a hard concept, but, I do understand it.
Yeah, those influences that appear to have pulled people down in vibration, there truly isn't anything that can pull you down, because when you look at what you really are, of being of love and light, you can't pull that down. We are beautiful blobs of energy, if you want to look at it like that. And you can't kill energy. You can't bring it down. It may adapt, but it's not going to go away. You can't say poof. You're not here anymore. You can't do that. It keeps going. It's alive.
I heard somebody say, I think yesterday, and it doesn't matter who, but something about, beings are trying to capture your souls. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's impossible.
Yeah, just know who you are. And if you don't know, then sit down, quiet yourself. Unplug, as I've said many times before, just unplug, plug back into yourself.
Yeah. All right. Writing things down here, tidbits of wonderful information. Another thing that it's good for us to know that is being authentic, and it's our right, to move on with our purpose. And so you say, okay, what is my purpose? And it may be just to be, and it doesn't mean you have to be do or anything like that. It may be. Or maybe part of your so-called purpose. But basically, your purpose is really one of the first things I said in this podcast, and that is our ability to walk around this planet enlightened. And so, Now we are raising our vibration, and so
we're raising this physical vibration.
Yes,
so we're trying. What we're doing is taking the body up with us.
They are
raising the entirety of the being, instead of looking at our existence as a spirit in a physical body. We're in the process of joining it all together.
I call it the merge.
Yeah.
If we look at the word timelessness, that means the same thing. It's all us in no time. Does that make sense?
It does to me.
When I say all of each one of us in no time, and us together in no time. So contemplate that one. All right. Just remember, right now there are more activations happening now in a greater force, be it from the sun or whatever. People are feeling things in your body, and so their body is reacting to that. And so if you are tired, rest. If you need to eat less, eat less. If you need to eat more, but listen to your bodies. And I was told there's continuation of activities on our world, like duh. And some people, we'll notice some people are falling and others are gaining strength. And so the ones that fall, might be their time to leave. I don't mean to sound harsh on that, but they came in to leave at this time. So bless them and thank them for being here.
Yeah, even when they don't know it, when you don't know yourself that you're doing something, like you said, maybe your purpose is just to be here.
Yeah.
Just by you being here, though, you have an influence on others that you never know.
Yeah. Everybody has an influence.
Yeah.
Nobody's left out.
Yeah.
Talk about being left out.
Yeah, just to look at somebody in the grocery store and smile. You may have changed their entire day.
Exactly.
Raised it up.
I did have a gentleman that told me that the other day. Yeah. I gave him a big smile and he says, "You made my day." And I went, "Oh, okay." And so you don't know. And then he may smile at somebody else, and
That's
it's
right.
like paying it forward, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, in our physical sense, our freedoms have been suppressed, and they are now opening up. Yes, it's our rights. They're opening up. I'm going to say this I hate to put out dates, but I did get this information, so please use discernment. And what I'm going to say next, okay? They said in about 2 weeks, you shall witness many changes as information unfolds and all is shown to the masses. It indeed is a great day. You are returning to your sovereign beingness. Prayers are being answered. The end result may be what many are unsuspecting, but all will be glorious.
Hear, hear.
So there you go. So even though things may look very dark right now, that doesn't mean that we go into that dark space. It's like, no, let's see the dark for what it is, and shut that door and open the door to the light that we are.
Yeah, there was something that happened the other day, and it caused me to look at what was happening, how I was processing that. I'll put it that way, how my body was processing it, and I saw it for what it was, and it was something that, I needed some distance, and so that's what I did, and could see it much more clearly. And so if you need to do that, put some distance between you and whatever it is that has caused discord within you. Do it. Take care of yourself. But at the same time, look at yourself and start asking some questions. How is it that this happened? How did I get here? What just took place? It's just like, well, what just happened? And try to see it for the truth. See the truth in it. And then you can take it from there. What do you need to do next?
Yeah.
So, but know that nothing can ever really hurt you, because you are much more than will ever fit in a body.
You're in charge of you.
Yes.
Yeah. Many people have think they're weak. And that is BS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody.
You may have weak moments.
So-called weak moments.
Yeah.
But you recognize them for what they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't berate yourself for that.
Yeah.
And people are very quick at berating themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did I do that for? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, It's like, let it go.
Yep.
But at least you saw it for what it is.
Absolutely. That's the first step to making something better.
Yeah.
Making a change if you need to.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Really. It is all good. And it is making a change because it's like, I don't feel like doing that again.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Check it off the list.
Yes. Or sometimes they do go back and do it again and again and again. You're like, what the heck's happening? And when you start asking those questions, I think you said, I just ask. And talking about prayers earlier, that's all that is. And so that you're speaking to the God self.
Mm-hmm.
And that is you. Some people think it's a separate God, but it's really you.
Can't be separated out of you.
You can't, because it is you. So, yes. And so ask and it is given. I think that's a biblical passage that I mentioned numerous times. So it really is true because, and you'll see it in different ways. But you got to listen. And instead of go off and shut your mind, but leave that mind open.
Yeah, you are in charge of your own mind.
Exactly.
No matter what anyone says to you, you're the one who's in charge of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can take that away from you.
No. And some of you that may be in some tough relationships where other ones may put you down for whatever reason. What are they doing? Are they doing it because they're scared? They're fearful?
That's usually where it comes from. How a person feels about themselves, that's what they dish out to others.
Yeah. So be aware of that.
Yeah.
And you can be angry at that person. But then also you love them. And then, assist yourself first. And make sure you're feel whole within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you assist others too. So,
yeah.
All right. Any more on that? Should we go to this?
Yeah.
All right. This is a piece of paper I'm holding up. All right. And I have to thank Dr. Michael Sala about bringing some of this information forth. So if it gets back to him, thank you. And I think one of the people that he speaks that's part of our military in the Army, somebody he calls JP. But anyway, in Ukraine, there's a lot more going on, and I think we even brought this up in a previous podcast, and that's the they call it an Ark ship that's being activated in southern Ukraine near Crimea, and there's Ark. That's ARK ship. That doesn't mean the Ark of the Covenant. I'm not sure why they're called Ark ships, but they're more like spaceships, and some are pretty large. And so, I'm curious about them too because of something I saw a few years ago in Hawaii, and nobody's talked about this until now. I'm going to talk about it, but. Back in 2017, I was noticing a large ship parked under the large island of Hawaii, or the Big Island, and I could see the lit up domes on the ship, the rotational energy circuits, but everything was not lit up, only partially lit up, and there was some kind of an energy device holding the ship down from any movement. And this, I believe, is where remember the big volcano, Pele, that went off in Hawaii? And so I felt the ship was under that, and part of the loosening of the ship may have helped cause that. So those of you that are geologists may wonder about this, but I'm going with it. I'm thinking it's a possibility because I felt that the ship was being activated. and when I started looking at that ship, I noticed, or was told there's other, what I was given, the information said 7 other points on Earth, or a total of 8. And so I'm thinking, okay, is that Ark ships? So I'm not quite sure if they're one and the same, but they may be. On these ships, I was told there were, or I saw them. It's been, a few years since I've seen all this information, but I saw tall beams on the ship, or underground, or both, and they had been there for about 50,000 years in our timeline. And they are preparing to move because Gaia wants to breathe more deeply. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And so the ship that's being talked about, the Ark ships that are being talked about in Ukraine, might be why there's some activation going on right now. And so, are we going to see this? I don't know. We might. According to JP, who was talking to Dr. Sala in a video that was up, it's probably still on YouTube, so you might want to check that out. Anyways, I think they were told that this ship holds seeds or plants. And so I asked, is there any truth to this? And what I got from that, the answer I got is, this ship has many sections. It was like cut and dried. So, excuse me. And then I noticed I saw a ship flying. This is all in my third eye, so to speak, or I can conscious projection, much the same thing. I noticed that a Palladian ship, I felt it was a Palladian ship that was beaming a light to the ship. And so I asked, is that to begin its activation? And I was answered, a quick start, yes. Then I noticed it was humming and like vibrating. And so it's loosening itself underground. And so I think this is happening in other parts of the world. I understand there's an Ark in northern Russia, one in the Bermuda Triangle, one in Brazil, Mars and Moon. And it looks like in Hawaii too, if that's what I was seeing, same thing years ago, but I think it is. I asked a little more questions. I did say what I was told. This is the end of March. What is to come is the appearance of many ships in your skies. Not all of these are actual ships. They are holograms. And I said, will this cause pandemonium? And the answer was, some, yet many people who are not used to seeing such things will be intrigued. What they will be seeing will not be threatening. So I think they're going to be able to feel that because it's not threatening, and they'll be intrigued versus frightened. There might be some that are frightened, but I don't feel it's going to be much of the population because they're going to be able to feel it. So that's now some of the ships that are going to be seen are holograms, and so obviously,
but some are real.
Some are real. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we're going to be able to tell the difference. Some people may be able to do that are more adept at that sort of thing, while others are not. But keep your eyes on the skies. A lot of people don't look up.
That's right, and we get distracted, by all the things going on the planet's surface. Don't forget to look up because there's lots of stuff going on up there.
A lot of stuff. And just look. And you can always ask too, because I've noticed there are people in certain areas, they'll say, well, can you power up for me? And you will see the ship, it'll get real bright. Yeah. Then it'll dim it right back down. Yeah. And so they know and they communicate, and this is all telepathic communication. Mm-hmm. So it's so this is going on now, guys, and I do believe our military and all that know this, and much of this information is coming out. But I think we're going to see a lot more soon. Yeah. All right, you want to add to that?
Well, my mind just did a quick jump to when my mom was in the hospital. getting ready to transition, she was getting some information. And all of a sudden, she heard these tones. I've told this story before, that she heard these tones, and they were tones that I had heard a number of months before. And so I listened closely. She did it again. So I hummed them back to her, and she immediately popped her eyes open. And she was making reference to their coming. And I was like, oh, man, what do I do now? So I asked her, I said, well, for good or what? And she said, it won't be so bad. This place is so screwed up, it won't be so bad. And I thought, what a thing to say, you know?
It's not threatening. I'm not saying all ships are and those on ships are wonderful. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
But you'll know it in your gut.
That's right.
Just trust the gut feel.
That's right.
And so be very careful. You want to invite anybody in, because you get imposters that may want to come in because they know your excitement and they're going to play you.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, just be careful with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bone up on your discernment.
Yes, definitely. So there you go. Talking about a lot going on. There's a lot going on. a lot going on. So I don't know what else to say, but just we're preparing for all of this, and it's really stay centered within your being as we're going through these times. And our bodies are adjusting, and a lot more to come. Just and some of it may be very shocking. I think I've talked about this before, and that is, some things are going to rock the world. And so if it does, then just, you might be surprised or unsuspecting, yet as things turn, we do have I think you mentioned turning point or something earlier what you received.
Pivotal point.
So it's happening, folks. So, I think overall it's a high five and glorious times ahead. And I got to admit, we're here at the most amazing time ever. And we chose to come. We were chosen to be here. And a lot of beings wanted to come in to be in this earth to see this transition through, and not everybody. So I made it, put it that way. And that doesn't mean better than or anything like that, but it's the strongest of the strong who are here. So remember your strength and do not back down from that strength.
That's right. We read all kinds of things, and we hear all kinds of things, and watch all kinds of things, and it pulls us away from the knowingness that we have within ourselves, that we are strong. We buy into these little programs that try to talk us into being weak, and we are not. So let us get over ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and get on with the real program.
There you go. Stand up, speak out.
Yep.
So there you go. Well, thank you. And I think it's exciting. And thank you all for being here tonight and listening to us, or whenever you listen to this podcast. But we appreciate your listening.
Yes, and I would like to dedicate a portion of this podcast to actually the memory of one person by the name of Sarah, who's the sister of one of my dear friends, and another being was a doggie who lived down the street by the name of Ginger, and both of them very, very beautiful beings, and I feel blessed to be on the planet at the same time that they were here. So I just wanted to say that, and please know in your hearts how much Bev and I both love you. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So we love you, and we hold you all in light, and I'm so grateful that you are here now. So thank you.
Know that strength that you are. And thank you all. again, our next episode will be on the 19th, and we'll be back again.
Was there anybody?
Is anybody on the line with us? Anybody have any questions?
No.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.